strategic plan, and what are the key points to it?
Well, I think as we went through the presentation, we talked about what's happened in Thunder Bay in the last 15 years and the change to the economy. And, I'm happy with all the work that people have done before us, and working in all the individual companies and political representatives. We've managed to move ahead through some pretty interesting times. The Great Recession whacked us pretty hard, and we've been able to pull back to where we were, and now have increased the jobs from where we were in 2003. Not a lot of communities have the internal strength to be able to pull out from that, so I'm happy with that. I'm also look forward to, as we laid out in our strategic plan, which is going to be now on our website for people to go look at, some of the pillars that we're going to work on. One of them is we do work now a lot with Indigenous communities, and we're going to continue to do more work with that. Land development is a key for us, attracting businesses. And the biggest thing that all of us in Thunder Bay have to work on is attracting more people to live here. I think that was one of the messages I wanted to portray to people, is we need to have population growth because people are starting to age out. And if we do want to grow the economy, we need to have a workforce that can do that. So we need to make sure that we're a welcoming community to Indigenous populations, to people that are coming from Southern Ontario that come here to go to school, for people from the rest of Canada, the international students, and also newcomers to Canada. So I think that's a key message to everybody that lives in Thunder Bay. We have to treat everybody with respect, but we also have to welcome everybody that comes here, because we need help from the point of view of continuing to increase the population. That we have businesses and health services that are short of people in Thunder Bay right now. And, I wouldn't even want to guess, but there's a lot of jobs that are going unfilled in Thunder Bay right now, so we need to continue to attract that. We have opportunities for people when they come here, like we have housing costs. I feel sorry for some of the people that live in Toronto that may never own a piece of grass underneath their own feet, because at $800 to $1 million a house, I sure wouldn't want to carry that mortgage payment. So that's available in Thunder Bay. And so we need to attract the businesses. We have businesses that are aging out in Thunder Bay, so we have, as part of our plan, and we've been working on for the last few years, is attracting. We advertise that businesses are for sale in Thunder Bay. We try to match-make people that are trying to exit their business with new people that want to come and buy businesses in Thunder Bay. And there's some infrastructure decisions that have to get made going forward over the next couple of years that we're going to try to put data and work with other organizations. I think there's a significant future. Right now we have a short term. We have to work with Bombardier to work on increasing the order book, because we're fastly completing our orders on the LRVs and the bi-levels. That's a key component of our economy. It's been here for over 100 years. I'd like to see it for another. It's going to change, mind you. Things are always going to change. But it's an effort that we're putting into, and we will make sure that we do that. Forest industry is coming back. It's growing, but we're not going to come back to 2003 in its old status. But there's new products. And I'm encouraged that the traditional forest industry is looking at new products, and there are new players. And the forest is key. The forest is key to the Indigenous people, and their participation is growing and growing and growing in that. And so I'm optimistic on that. There are mining opportunities around Thunder Bay. We are a bedroom community for some of the mines. That's going to continue to happen. So there's going to be quite a blend of jobs and opportunities. You might not see as many smokestacks as you did in the past. It'll be different jobs. Healthcare is also very prevalent. We got 16 to 18% of our workforce is involved in healthcare, but we are the hub for Northwestern Ontario. And we do have health outcomes that aren't great. So Thunder Bay helps solve some of those. Well, we need to work on getting people involved in the economy so that they don't have poor health outcomes. And so that's why I talked about, how do we help the smaller communities around Thunder Bay, that as the economy digitalizes faster and faster, how are we going to keep up with that? And how do we attract people? Not only do we need to help people attract to Thunder Bay, we need to help people attract to rural areas and more remote areas, and get the people that are in remote areas to participate in the economy, the education, the healthcare system. It's all going to come through digital. So, and we have two great institutions here, Lakehead and Confederation College, so we're going to continue to work closely with them. We need to, a lot of our business growth is going to occur from internally. So whether the people graduated from here or people like we introduced today, out of all the people that we've helped start up companies. And we've also, I forgot to mention today too, but we do work closely with the Innovation Center, and we have had a program called Co-Starter, where we've actually accelerated startups. We're going to start again later in the winter here with another round, but we've had some really good success with that. And we've had one company that came from Greece to participate in Thunder Bay that's now owned by Canadians, that now has 20 people in Thunder Bay and is growing to 40 people in the next month or so in Tritium. So that's just an example. We have the Ungali girls in the clothing business that are growing their business. So there's a number of things. So we can attract people, startup entrepreneurs to come to Thunder Bay. We have worked with Finnish companies. The Finns look at Thunder Bay as part of Finland, and they like to look at Thunder Bay as coming here as they want to start attacking into the North American market. So we're making our services available for them to call us home. So there's opportunities to attract people here. So, but I think it's, everybody in the community's got to help sell Thunder Bay from the point of view of and help improve Thunder Bay. I think that's key too, going forward, that we have to recognize that we have some issues, but we also have to move forward, and moving the economy forward and getting everybody to participate is a key requirement. So that's what we're looking at. Like I say, the document is going to be on our website, and we're going to continue to work with the organizations that help support us.
What would you like to see with the OPG plant here in Thunder Bay?
So I think there's a lot of assets at the OPG site. There's 2 large boilers, there's 2 smaller package boilers, huge buildings, 400,000 or 500,000 square feet of buildings. Now often you see some height, so permits to take water, permits to discharge water, huge electrical infrastructure. So we can look at that as, can that be sort of a base to help other industries tie into? So can we provide services, the land, the water requirements? Will it be forest-based? Will it be something else-based? So I really will feel disappointed at the end of the day if we aren't able to tap into something to use that facility, as opposed to just a scrap metal dealer gets it and it's a wrecking ball. Then I failed. So we want to see that we can reposition it. But I can't say that, here's the answer to it. But I can point to locations where things like that have happened. In Sarnia, Dow Chemical left 1,300 acres of industrial land they left behind. But there was also a power and utility plant there that then they didn't have customers, but could provide incoming companies with power and steam and effluent treatment and such forth like that. And they're filling up their industrial park, right? Because if you're a startup in a new technology, and you got to tell that you got to pay for all, you got to start and put in boilers and effluent treatment, this, that, power infrastructure, you go, holy cow, I'm running out of money. Whereas if we can say that we have some of that here, that'll help. So I haven't got all that all worked out. But, when one door closes, another window opens, and so we got to look at it from the point of view is, can we utilize that asset for something else? So.
Doug, you mentioned, basically making use of the assets that we have. You talked about the land on the waterfront, the industrial land, and things like that, the natural resources to our north. I mean, is that going to be the key going forward?
Well, I think from a point of view of when we look at manufacturing, yes, it'd be nice to attract small machining or whatever. I struggle to say that we're never going to attract a Toyota factory from the point of view of making cars, because we're too far away from the population, right? But there are smaller things that we can attract, and we really have to work overtime on the Bombardier facility. It's here. We can't lose that. So we need to spend time and effort on that. But I believe there are opportunities in the forest, which is going to come from around us. I believe there are non-gold mineral assets that are to the north of us that can potentially be used here. But we are going to be a bedroom and a service community for these industries. I think there are some opportunities around manufacturing on a smaller scale. But manufacturing using our resources is easier than trying to say that we're going to make something here that only people in Toronto use, then why would you do it here versus doing it in Barrie or Guelph, right? There has to be an economic reason why it's so cheaper to do it here, right? But when the resource is here, it's easier to do that. But Bombardier, we've managed to do that for 100 years through different product lines. So we can do things like that. So, that is possible. But anyhow, so there is opportunities in manufacturing, but we're not going to see at this point in time huge manufacturing like we had in the past around our resources because we've backfilled with other things, right? And one of the things that we look at is that most people don't understand is we're in a central location on the internet pipelines. So the fiber optic lines that crisscross this country, there's 5 of them that all kind of tie in the Front Street in Toronto. They all go through Thunder Bay. It's like the highway. If you want to get from one part of the country to the other, you got to go through Thunder Bay. Well, all those fiber optic lines go through Thunder Bay. I'm not going to tell you where they are, but they go through Thunder Bay. And so that brings back up the people that want IT data and such work like that. And so can we create companies and attract companies here because we have the human resources that we're graduating from the computer science programs at Lakehead or other things that we have here, right? So those are the resources that we have to tap into. And then what is possible? Like I can't even think of some of the things that could be those kids are thinking of that we could be doing, right? So those are the opportunities where I see that our growth is going to occur from the point of view. So we have to open those doors to keep those kids staying here, to create businesses or to attract businesses that need that labor. But it may not be making a manufacturing widget like we think of in the past. It could be something different. Like I said, like I used the example of a Tridio. That's an information-based human resources system that has national accounts across Canada and the United States now on hiring people. And they're attracting other people to come to Thunder Bay. That's different than what we had in the past, right? Just as valuable, but it's different.